Welcome back, and joining me with more insight on the day's trade is Annatjie Van Rooyen from My Wealth Investments. Thank you so much for your time, Annatjie. Before we actually delve into the slew of results that we have gotten in the US and also some trading updates here on the JSE, it's also been a busy week in the macroeconomic environment. Just talk to me about what stood out for you in the macroeconomy this week.
Hi, Annatjie. Thanks for having me. Yeah, the week has certainly been dominated by central bank action. First of all, we had the Fed that paused its rate cutting cycle, but that was as we all expected. And then yesterday, we had the Reserve Bank cutting rates by 25 basis points, which we also expected. But the governor made some important remarks. And he did point out that they're expecting to see a rebound in economic growth in the fourth quarter, and that will be driven by an increase in household income and improvement in the agricultural sector, lower interest rates, and also from two-pot system withdrawals. He also said that the inflation risks are well balanced in the short term. Risks in the medium term are to the upside, and that is subject to external factors, mainly tariff increases. What he did say, which was very positive, is the fact that he sees inflation remaining in the bottom half of the target range for the first half of the year, and then they see it ticking up to 4.5% in the second half. But if we see a blowout, the worst case scenario they see is 5%, which is still for us because that's still within the target range of the Reserve Bank. So that for me was a very positive thing that he said. Just quickly on the other thing in the run-up to the budget, he did point out that the public debt, it is important to keep them at prudent levels, and also that continued structural reforms are very important and they create monetary policy space. So those are a few things that I really liked that he said.
Well, of course, we are now looking to the tech companies, the chip companies, but also the companies that have been investing a lot in terms of boosting their AI capabilities. Let's take a look at Apple and some of the tech companies that came out with results. I think the one of significance really today is Apple. Talk to me about the lens that you have looked at these results from, also considering that they surprised to the upside.
Yes, I think if you look at the tech sector, there's been a lot of volatility and really overshadowed by DeepSeek. I call it DeepSeek Day, the 27th of January. So that has overshadowed, but year on year, the numbers look very good. And what was very positive for Apple was the sales forecast is positive. So the sales of iPhones in China dropped by 11%, but their services division has actually done very well and made up for that loss in sales. So as long as they positive going forward, then we're happy. And we also have PCE coming out later today, so that can also be an important factor that can have an influence on these tech companies.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we are going to be looking out for Monday's discussions. Let's bring it back home and take a look at some of the company news that came out of the JSE. Looking at retailer Truworths, they released their interim trading update. A tepid increase in their group sales, but looking at a decline in their bottom line, seeming that Africa was the problem. We did see that share price plunging 4%. No surprise there, on the market reaction, considering what we got from the company.
Yes, it was a disappointing trading update. The overall sales only increased by 2.4%. And if it wasn't for the increase in sales of 11% in the UK business, then it would have been a shocker. So the African sales decreased by 1.1%. The one good point or positive point that I could pick up was the 38% increase in online sales. They did say that the African business putting a drag on profits, so the profit margin is contracting, which is never good for a business. Luckily, they still have a strong balance sheet, but as you have rightly mentioned, they did warn that headline earnings per share will decrease by between 4% and 8%. So the market did not receive it well, but hopefully, with the operating environment improving in South Africa, they will also benefit from that going forward.
Well, there were a number of companies saying that they have finalized some of their disposals, Nampak being one of them. They finally finalized the disposal of Bevcan Nigeria. We did see the stock is surging over 5%. Is this a significant step in Nampak's turnaround?
Yes, it is significant. No surprises though, because they are in the process of deleveraging that balance sheet. So they are continuing with these asset disposals. But certainly good news for Nampak shareholders, and the market has also received this news very positively.
Yeah, all right. Well, talking about things that are good, what are you seeing as good at the moment? Your stock pick, Annatjie?
I'm going to go for Alphabet because they're reporting their fourth quarter results next week. And in the third quarter, they had an exceptional performance of the cloud business, and the market is expecting higher single-digit numbers for the fourth quarter. We're also expecting adjusted earnings per share of 32.8% on the back of increased revenue of 19.3%. The capex forecast will be very important as AI expenditure is under the spotlight after DeepSeek Day, sorry, on 20 January, but the valuation of the share is not demanding at all, so I'm going to go with Alphabet.
DeepSeek Day, that's definitely something that I'm coining from now on. Thank you so much for your time and for your insights there, Annatjie. That was My Wealth Investments' Annatjie Van Rooyen.